Hi everyone, I hope you will enjoy making this kit with me. It's the Keeper of Little Things, and I think you'll enjoy it to do with your kids or even for yourself. It's just a nice way to connect with nature. This has been a while since I've done videos and all that. I'm not very good at it, but I love doing it, so bear with me as we go through. I tried to speed through some of the boring parts and get to the parts that actually you need to know. Anyways, I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for being with me. So just to give you an idea, this is an interactive page. So I'm going to set that one aside. This is the top of that page. These are the little things that go inside the shelves. And then these are extras. This is just a little journaling page. Envelopes. And then this is going to be used later, so for an interactive, and this is for the front, so we'll put that aside. Some other labels and things. This is another piece that we're going to make, the front and the back. When you print these out, you can print them out this side and then this side so that they print out front and back, or you can print them separately and glue them together, which makes them sturdier. So I printed them separately, but we'll make that. And then just some tuck cards. And then some pockets, which we will do in a little bit. And then there's a folding folio with the front and the back. Again, if you want to print them front and back, you can. So we will make that as well. And then this part right here is another interactive page. This is another part of a folio page, front and back. Aside. This one right here is meant to put, we're going to cut this out and we'll put flowers in between them, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. Then there's just some background pages that you can put the pockets on and your little stickers and whatnots. These are belly bands. If you don't know what those are, you just cut them out, glue them on the edges of the pages, and then you can stick things underneath them. And then just some decorative background pages. Okay, so these I'm going to set aside for now, and we will start with the little cupboard here, and I'll show you how we put that together and why I call it interactive. Okay, so we have this, the doors, the inserts, and the drawers that we're going to cut out and use. They're difficult to get in and out, right? Okay, so now when you interact with this, they will slide out. But they cover the original, right? Okay. Now, to get them to slide in and out, we need little handles. So I use little brads to do that type of thing. So I have just all kinds of different things that I've been collecting over the years. So I just want to see which ones I like the best. If I had the 3 greens, I would have used those, but I only have 2. I'm going to stay away from the flowers. So I have red, those are too big. So it looks like these, so I'll probably use these. So I've got 3 green, 1 orange, so that's probably what I'll do. So I'm just going to take the brads off. In case you don't know what a brad is, on the back it's just like that. You probably used them in school when you're making things. And then I'm going to use this little one. I think that one's really cute. Okay, and then we're just going to punch holes in here, and I'm just going to get my awl out. So I've got one here that has just a little hole punch. So we're just going to punch that in here. Punch that through here. You don't want too big of a hole, so I'm using my small one. Okay, I want to show you on this, doing the back of the pantry piece. So we have the front and we have the back, but the back has the drawers in it. So you want to make sure the drawers are pulled all the way up as far as they will go. And then we're going to seal it underneath this, but we want to make sure we do not touch this. So we're going to glue on this side. Okay, and we want to make sure we get underneath these drawers pretty good, because you're going to be tugging on them. Get the corners, the bottom, and then right above the drawers as well. And then the rest of it's fine all around, but just leave the drawers free so that you're not going to restrict them in any way from pulling out. Okay. Just gonna flatten that, glue out a little bit. Make sure we get it in the corners. Alright. Should be good. Okay. And then we'll just put our page on top. And make sure everything lines up. Okay. Press down on the front. Make sure the drawers are all the way up. Okay. Alright. There we go. So that is the finished page, and then I'll have to trim it all when I'm ready to put it in the actual journal itself. But now you can see the drawers will still pull out. They're not glued or anything, so they will pull all the way out. And you don't want to go too far, but they will pull out. Okay, and then the doors, all I did was I tied a piece of string around the little brads, so you can easily open the doors to see what's inside. And then I can also add my vellum. Okay, then we have all the little pieces that go on the shelves that you can put in there, and you can have them stick up a little bit. But first, I'm going to cut out the doors and show you how they assemble, and we'll do that last, but I just wanted to show you this first. Okay, now we've got the doors done, so they just sit on here, and these little foldovers are the hinges. So I'm just going to make sure that everything lines up. And it does. So I'm going to go ahead and fold these. And the easiest thing to do, I'm going to pinch where the lines are. Okay, and then I'll fold them over, just very carefully on each side. Okay, then I'm going to take my bone tool, so that this is, and then it just creases the page so it'll stay better. Okay, and that becomes my door hinge, which I will glue on here so that I can open the door. Now, I don't have any vellum, so I won't be able to finish this, but you could put lace behind your hair as well, but you won't be able to see through. But I need to get some clear vellum and I'll put it on the back of there. And then when you open the door, this will be a little bit more sturdy, and then you'll be able to see all the things inside as well. Clips. Alright, so I'll just hold it. I'm just gonna put a glue line here. All the way down. Okay. And then on this side as well. Okay, we're gonna let those dry while I'm cutting out the insides. Okay, so these are just cutting. So this is the flower that's gonna go on the edge to make it look a little more 3D. And we're just gonna cut around them. Get off the sheet so it's easier to cut. Okay, I got them all cut off, so I'm just going to take now some of the ink and go around the edges just to cover up any white that you see. That's really just a trick so that people are not seeing that you missed some spaces to cut out, and it gives it an aged feel. And then you just want to stick with a color of ink that is closer to your palette, that you can see how you see the white. And now I'll just kind of cover it up a little bit, and now you can't tell that it was there, and it doesn't look like I missed anything. Just gives it some aged look. Okay. Kind of brings it all together. Gives a little depth to it. Okay, we're back. So I've glued everything down, found some other ones to fit in the empty spaces. I didn't glue them down flat, so they appear to be a little higher, which is great. I colored the back doors for now. I'm going to go ahead and add little knobs. So I'm just going to put this through here. I just want to be careful. Okay, here we go. And I'll put my little brad on there. Okay, so let's do this page next. Now this is, I thought would be fun to do with the kids, right? So if you go outside and you go nature hunting, then you can look at this and pick something that you want to go find. I just think it's a little fun thing to do with the kids. Or they can do it by themselves, actually. They can use this little kit and do it by themselves. So we're just gonna cut out the little pendulum. Okay, so you're not going to see this. I'm not going to worry too much about what that looks like. I have a belt hole puncher that works good in this instance for some of these holes that you have to punch. It's real simple. Okay, then use the circle is going to go on top of here, so we need this to be in the center of that. I'm just going to go right in the center of the blue bird or the blue eggs. Pinch a hole, and then that will be my little pointer. So I had some pretty blue ones on here. See if I have anything that might work. So I don't have, oh, I do have a blue one. Lucky me. I have a little blue one. through there, it's going to go through there, and it's going to go through right here. Okay, but before I do that, let me get the edges so they don't look so cut out. I'm gonna a little more rough. More on this side. Okay. I'm gonna put this in here. Oh, I'm gonna put the little pointer in. And stick that through. So now we have a little pointer that you can move around to what season it is. Okay, I think what I want to do though is put a little dot of glue. This has to be able to move, so I don't think we'll be able to do that, but I wanted this to stay in place. So I'm going to put a little dab of glue right behind that brad, just to hold the paper in place. Okay. Now, once that glue dries, that paper should stay right there in place. Okay, and the only thing that will move is the little pointer. Now, I do see that I'm not real happy with the pointer I made. It's a little too small, so what I'm going to do is pick out something on here, because there's some real little ones, and put it on the end of there. Maybe like the dragonfly would be really cute, or the butterfly, something that you can see moving, or the bee. I kind of like the dragonfly, so let's take the dragonfly. And cut it out. It's tiny, so I'll be a little careful. Not perfect, but just a little careful. Just enough to get them out so you know what it is. Okay. Up this way, and that way. Okay, now let's get them buffed out a little bit. Alright, put the glue. Them on there, and now it'll look like he's flying around, so that's kind of cute. You probably put a little bit of glitter on him or something, but I think you'll see him a little better on this side. So, okay, so that's that little page. Alright, so the next page we'll do are the little books. So let's start by cutting them out. just want to make sure you've got it in the crevice. And then we're going to poke holes through here, all the way through, and all the way up, so we get a nice hole to put our string through. Okay, and we're only going to do 2 holes on this guy because he's kind of little. Okay. All right. Then we're going to pick a color that goes with our journal, if we have it, the right color. It's got different colors here. We're going black. Of course, you can use a thicker one too. These are like a real thin thread. This is more of a leather. Let's see that. I got white. I don't think I want white either, so I'll just stick with this color. It matches pretty well. Gonna do enough to go through here, tie it, and then tie a bow. Okay, now you can put this through a needle. This kit that I have comes with needles. It comes with the hook needles too, the round ones. I think this kit's an awesome kit if you don't have all these accessories. It's all in one place. And I'll put all these links for everything I use in the post, so you'll have it. I'm going to just trim this off a little bit. Alright, so we're going to go, you either want your bow on the inside or the outside, so you just have to be cognizant of where you're putting it. I'm going to go through this one first, and then go through this one. Easier to see them that way. And then on this side, and this side. A little frayed. There we go. Okay. Get these even and pull your strings through. Okay. And where you want them. Alright, make sure they're tight. And we're gonna just put a bow right here. Now you can go through it again, but like I said, this is just for a little tiny book that's going inside of the journal, so we don't need to worry about too much about making sure that the string won't come out. Okay. Okay. And then we'll tie our bow. I'm going to double knot it for strength. Okay. Alright. So we have our little bow, our little strings. So I'm going to nip off just a little bit. Okay, so look how cute that is. Now we have a little book that we can write in. You can also put some of your little stickers on them, on the pages, put a pocket over here, whatever you want to do. But that's how you make that little book. And then we have another little book here, but I'll have to cut out some more of the pages to put in there. And we'll do that later. Okay, next we'll do the pressed flowers. So what we're going to do first though is cut out the insert. Now you can cut out an oval. You can cut out along the square. You can do whatever you want, but we're going to put the clear vellum on the backs of both of these and then put them together so you can see your squished flowers or your pressed flower inside of your frame. Okay, so I suggest if you're going to use something that you draw it right. So we're gonna, I don't think I have anything oval, but I do have a heart, which would be kind of cute. So I'm going to use the heart. And then I'm going to draw around it and then cut it out. Okay, so my camera decided it didn't want to record that whole piece, so I'm going to try to explain it to you. We have this page and we have this page, okay? So all I did was glue them together, folded them on the lines and glued them together. I left the center open here, so you can see I glued here and here, but I left that open so that we can tuck things inside, okay? Just did that on both sides. Now you could color this in if you wanted to before you glued it so that you don't have white showing, or put a background on it. Okay, and then just make sure they fold okay. So this one has the front here. So what I will do is I will glue this part down on another page in my book. Okay, so that'll be on page glued down. Then it will fold like this and you'll open it like this. And then just like the other ones, I did the aging around all of the spots. Okay, but you can do whatever you want. If you want to just keep it like this and just attach it to your book, you can use a clip, a decorative clip or a paper clip or something, and then you can take it out, or you can, like I said, I will glue that down and it'll be permanently in the book. And then you can do a magnet here, you can do a brad, you can wrap some twine around it to keep it secure. I will probably use the twine to wrap it around it and tie a bow. And then the same thing with these two pages that we had. These are prompted pages for you to write down memories and things, and then your favorite find for the day and what you're going to look for on your next watch, and then memories worth keeping. So if I was going to use this in a book, I'd glue this page down, have these open up, and then tie a bow around it. Or you can clip it and then take this with you on your walk so that you can note everything down and then bring it back and put it in your book. So these are great little parts of the book that you can use that would be interactive, taking it with you and bringing it back. Fun for the kids to do, you know, they could take them with them on nature walks and fill up the little pockets and then bring them back. All right, next we're going to do, I'm going to show you just some reasons that people use pockets on their pages, and we'll do a belly band. So I'm going to cut out the corner pocket that matches this, just to show you how you do these. And then you can get really fancy and you can use all kinds of trims, laces, just, you know, all kinds of things you can do in these books. And if you look on YouTube or whatever, you'll see a bunch of people that are very creative. My favorite is Lulu Craft. She's on Facebook, but she's starting a YouTube channel, and she does fantastic work. She's very much inspired me to do these journals, and I'm sure she will inspire you too. Alright, so that looks good. Always follow up with making them creased really good so they'll stay down better in your book. Okay, so these are meant to go on the corner sides, and then you just tuck things in any corner, you know. I make them so that they can go on different corners in your book. Okay, so we'll just glue these down. Very simple, very, very simple. Now, I use the glue, I use the tacky glue. I can work with it. It dries pretty fast. People use the tape. There's all kinds of stuff out there you can use, but I like tacky glue. Alright, we'll put it in the corner here. Okay, let that dry. And I'll show you the belly bands. So we can take a belly band, cut it out. Or stay down better on when you're gluing paper to paper. Alright, right side up. So I think I'm going to stick this right about right here. And then you can just put things under it that you find. Maybe you find a big feather or something you want to keep. Okay. Alright, and then when I already put the book together, I'm going to cut all the edges off of this. Okay, so that's how you do that. And then, along with that, we have these pages. So we can cut out each of these cards, and you can glue them back to back so you have a double-sided card, or you can just leave the white on the back, or you can take a lined page and glue it to the back, and then you can just have writing on the back as well. I think for these journals, the more sturdy you can make the pages and the writing materials, like this is, I mean, it's good cardstock, but it's still pretty pliable. So attaching one to the back isn't a bad idea. Or a background, you can use a background paper. You don't have to use another card. I'll glue them together and then make the final cuts. So I always put them together first, because look, if you look at this one, it looks good from that side, but from this side you can see that that one's a little bit shorter. So now you got to make a decision. Do you want to cut off the top of this other side or the bottom? So I want to keep the border. So what I'm going to do is put this like a little bit at the top, a little bit at the bottom, so I can keep the borders on both sides. Okay, and then I will cut them before I glue them, just to make sure that it's what I want. Yeah, pretty close. It's not bad. All right, and then if you have the little corner punching tools and everything, you can make these really nice and perfect. Bit more white that I really want on here before I do this. Just cut out that little bit. Once you do this, you can't see it anyways. All right, you get the idea. Okay, so we have a card now, and then it could just fit right into your little tuck here, or it could go underneath your little belly band. So I just wanted to show you how those pages are used. Okay. Very cute. All right. Okay, now to finish up, these are the pages that we haven't touched yet. The other ones we've cut little things out of or used. So we're gonna look at these. This is just a keeper's inventory, just a place to write down things. What I would do on this is I would put a background page on the other side. Okay, that looks good. Just glue it together. So you have this side, and then you have this side, and put pockets and a belly band, stickers, just anything you want to decorate that side. All right. So let's just quickly go around what we accomplished today. So we did get the pantry doors done. We got our little book done. We got our pressed flowers done. Just need to add the vellum. Okay. We got our little folios ready to go. That one and this one. Okay. We made a pocket page. We can put our little notebook in if we want. There or here. We talked about the cover, using the cover, and then we have extra pages left to use that we didn't use in this one yet, although I will. I will use the majority of all of this in this journal. We still have another book to make. And then we can make some more cards to put in the pockets. You can add some belly bands, and even if you don't want to use them for belly bands, you can use them for bookmarks. So we have more pockets to use. And then we also made the little twirly thing to pick what you're going to go looking for. And all I did was attach a back to it to hide the brad. And then I'll just use some of the pockets on that back side. Alright, so that concludes the Keeper of Little Things. I hope you really enjoyed it. I do have another kit that's coming out. It's called the Pantry Keeper. It's similar to this one. It's all about keeping order in your pantry and your kitchen. The interactive is really fun. It's got an old-timey refrigerator that you can put things in, a stove, you can put things in a pantry, and then it's got lists for groceries, what's in your pantry, what you need to shop for. It's got dividers for recipes, it's got recipe cards in it. It's just everything for your kitchen, and it's just an adorable kit, and I will link that for you if you want to go take a look at it. But thank you so much for supporting my small business and for watching and sharing and commenting whenever you can. It really helps the algorithm, which helps me to support everything that I'm doing, and I just very, very much appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time today. If you have any questions, always please feel free to ask.